Hello, loves. It is May 27th when I'm filming this, and it's time to do the TBR for the month of June. It's summer, finally summer. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books here, but there's actually 9 because there's one book that came out today that is not coming till June 4th. If I see any spoilers for this book, everybody's getting blocked. Everybody. So, with that being said, let's get into it, shall we? So the first book that I want to read this month, or in the month of June, because technically it's still May, is this book. I'm just mad because it got delivered today, because it came out today, and Amazon sent it to me damaged as always, and also the top of it is sticky, like, well, it's not sticky anymore, but when it arrived it was sticky and everything, and I was just like, but the cover's bent and there's scratches, but who cares? It is Problematic Summer Romance by 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙖. Now, if you guys know, as of recent, Lauren Roberts has taken the spot for my favorite book author. Wait, really? Book author? My favorite author. She's taking the spot of that. And I know y'all gonna be in my comments like myself, well, what about Red Queen? Go watch my rating vlog on that if you've read Red Queen, because it's spoilers. I didn't want to handle that. I'm gonna handle that in like the review, but those are two different books. Sure, the first chapter maybe, but two different books, okay? And publishers had like what I was missing in Red Queen, and yeah. But before Lauren Roberts was my favorite author, it was 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙖, because I read Check and Mate, and she is what got me back into reading. She is who got me back into reading. I loved her books, and that's basically, I was just reading her books back to back. But you know, an author can publish only so much at once, and I had read her entire backlist in like 3 months. So I went scavenging, and Powerless stumbled across my radar, and I loved it. And yeah, then Not in Love came out, and I was not in love with Not in Love. Like, I despised that book with every fiber in my body. And then Deep End came out, and is that their next book that came out? Yeah, Deep End came out, and it was okay. It was just like, okay. Well, no, she had her novellas. Her novellas, I think Two Can Play is kind of just like, okay, we can, like, we're back on the right track. I just feel like, you know, maybe that one came out a little too early. Like, but, yeah, this Problematic Summer Romance by 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙖 is the first book that I want to read in the month of June or before. And speaking of books that got released this month, Releasing 10. Now, I've only read Binding and Keeping 13. I hated Keeping 13, but I loved Binding 13. And I was like, well, when there's a new, fresh book on the market, if it's a popular book from a very popular series, what's something that we're gonna get? Spoilers everywhere you look, honey. And I was like, okay, well, these are interconnected series, right? Like 2 books with each character dynamic. And I heard that like Gibbs's book, Gibbsy and Clear, they only have 1 book, and we don't know what's going on with that right now. And that's all I've heard. And I was like, okay, well, I know that if I open up Instagram any day after release day, I'm going to run into a spoiler of some sort with Releasing 10. So I'm gonna skip all the other books, and I'm gonna backtrack after I read Releasing 10. Now, you might be like, oh my goodness, how are you gonna know what couples end up with who? And I feel like I already know who Gibbsy's gonna get with. I don't know who the other books are. Well, I know that one. I know who the characters, I know what relationships are gonna happen. I don't know what the backstory behind all these characters are gonna be. I've heard that Gibbsy's story is like really sad, so we'll see. When I get to that boat, everybody's like, I was like, can I just skip, you know, Joey's story? Because Joey, he doesn't concern me at all. So I was just like, can I skip the Joey story? And my friend Miriam, she was like, don't skip it. And I was just like, okay. Well, guess what, Miriam? I'm skipping it. I'm going to releasing 10 because, like I said, I don't want to get spoiled in anything. But after that, I'm going to backtrack and then continue to read all the other series because I don't want to get spoiled. And I already know who's going to end up with who. This, that, they're every romance. The synopsis will tell you on the back who ends up with who. Just by telling us the characters' names. Like, sure, like, a character could die. But we know they get with each other at some point in the book. So, does it really matter? So I know who's getting with who, and I feel like the book just tells us their backstory, how they got together, like that character's story and everything like that. So I just feel like I can skip these because I really want to know what goes on in Lizzie's mind, because Lizzie from Binding 13 from the get-go has always interested me, because I was just like, that girl is really interesting. So yeah, and I've heard like people have been like back to back to back, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Like, be careful when you read releasing 10, because I know there was some ARC readers who got like audiobooks and stuff before. And I was like, y'all were not acting this way over Keeping 13 and Binding and Keeping 13. Y'all already know. If you guys have read Binding and Keeping 13, you guys would know why those books need trigger warnings, because of like some of the traumatic stuff that are in those books. So I was like, it was kind of like scaring me, because I was like, whoa, like, you guys are not like giving heads up about Keeping 13 and Binding 13 like how you guys are with releasing 10. And can releasing 10 really be that bad? So I guess we're gonna see when it gets delivered on June 4th. And my friend was like, did you pre-order it? I pre-ordered that thing before she pre-ordered. Miriam pre-ordered hers on May 24th. I pre-ordered mine on May 23rd. She gets hers today. I get mine in June. Please make it make sense, Amazon, please. Because I promise at this point it's just favorites. Whatever, who cares? Who cares? Next up is actually a series that I've heard literally everybody talk about this series, actually. And I'm pretty sure this is like Cowboys. This is the Rose Hill series. It's Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I don't know. I just like small town romance. It's like, wait. In a Jam, I miss In a Jam every day, because it was like typical small town romance, and I love small town romance. So I'm excited to get into this. I have no clue what this is about. I just know it's really popular and it's about cowboys. Or cowgirls, I think. Yeah. I'm making myself look stupid. Next up, this book, I wouldn't have found if it wasn't for Owl Crate, because they have an app called The Nest, and on The Nest they give book recommendations. And this was a book recommendation they put up that actually had me interested just based off the cover, because I judge every single book that I buy off the cover. I don't read synopsis because I like to go on blind, and if it's romance and it's YA, and then you've sold me. X Marks the Spot by Gloria Chow, I think. X Marks the Spot. And like, I'm interested. Like, you have me hooked. You have me hooked, honey, and barely nothing. I've read nothing. I don't know what this book is about. I don't know how everything goes down. I just want to read it. And that's just like the simplicity of it. Like, genuinely, tell me it has a cute cover, it's a romance, and it's YA, or it reads like YA, which I don't even know what that means. Reads like YA, is that supposed to be a compliment? Because I feel like YA books are really easy to get through. So if it reads like YA, then yes, sign me up. So, everybody's like, I was kind of just like, okay, well, I really want to read this, so we'll see what we think. Next up is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. Now, I've read only one other book by Lynn Painter. I have my bookshelf right here beside me. I have one other book by Lynn Painter that's better than the movies, and I need to read nothing like the movies, right? But my best friend read better than the movies after me, and she was like, can we just read Nothing Like the Movies together when summer hits? So I think that's going to be around July when we read Nothing Like the Movies, or we might read it in June. So I guess we'll see, but I'm waiting on her. That's why I didn't put this one on the TBR. And why I didn't buy it yet, because I was just waiting on her to get her copy of Nothing Like the Movie, so I don't feel tempted to start, because me and my friend are buddy reading the Shatter Me series, and I finished Unravel Me and she hasn't, and I'm tempted to open up this book, and I know I cannot, because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna, because she's like, you can finish Unravel Me, and I was like, okay, and I finished it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna start Ignite Me Without You, but then everybody's on Instagram talking about something. Yeah, guys, like, what book was it? Was it Ignite Me? I think it was Ignite Me. They're saying there's a scene where Kenji walks in and Juliet was bald. If I'm spoiled, you have to be spoiled too. I don't know how she got bald. I don't know how we got there. I don't know, but I can't take myself serious. Okay, like I was saying, Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I was not gonna buy this book. Like, not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't plan on it. It wasn't in my wish list. I wasn't intrigued, I guess. There was nothing about it that was like, okay, cool, let's get it. But then Allie decided she wanted to, if you guys don't know who Allie is, it's just Allie. Allie decided she wanted to do a reading vlog where it was like she reads until she finds her book that gets her out of a reading slump, and she read this one, and the way she described this book completely sold me on it, and I was just like, okay, I need to get this book immediately, because if I don't, I'm actually going to go crazy and everything's going to be downfall, and everybody else is going to suffer the consequences and not me. So I bought it, and I hope that I like it, because if I don't like it, then that just means like, bro, I was low-key like scammed. I'm kidding. I also have a book up here that I ordered. I don't know if I'm gonna get around to it. Anyways, no, this book I'm extremely excited for. I'm extremely excited for this book because it's been on my radar since it was published. And this book is called, how do I even pronounce this? It's Rendes Vus by Poppy Leanne. Now, you guys know I'm your local Christian girly, right? Local Christian girly, and I want to find some Christian romance books. And apparently this is one. And I think, what I've heard about this, I didn't read the synopsis, but I think it's like a girl and she's a Christian and this is a dude and he's famous or something. And he's not a Christian, and basically they can't be together because she's like if you're not a Christian, I'm not gonna date you, and something like that. I don't know, it's been a minute since I heard what people describe this as, and I'm excited to read this one because I heard there's a lot of Christian themes. He converts to Christianity. That's the one for us, y'all. That's the one for us. So I'm excited. Sign me up. I want more, like, immediately. Next up is The Rose Bargain. I know nothing about this book. Do you know why I bought this book? I'll show you why I bought this book. This is why I bought this book. I got the special edition. So when you get a special edition, you always have to get the book so you can actually read it, because I'm not reading out the special edition. You got me messed up. And also, I want to show you guys these spray edges, but you guys have to wait. You guys have to wait for a book haul, so you don't see them in this video. It's okay. Just wait. There's no one coming. I've ordered like 20,000 books in the past 3 days. So you guys are gonna get one, don't worry. But The Rose Bargain, I know nothing about this. I just know that Stephanie Garber has reviewed it. When one makes a fairy bargain, one must be prepared to pay the price. Fairies? I just left the fairy world like yesterday. I finished The Cruel Prince yesterday. I just left the fairy realm, so I guess I'm gonna go back with this book. That's nice, but I'm excited because I've like read reviews and I've heard reviews and people say this book is good, so we'll see. Next up, we have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Listen, you might be like, Maddie, and in that one book haul you got the UK version because you said the US versions are ugly. They are. What is this? Like seriously, what is this? This is supposed to be art. You should be ashamed of yourself. Not the cover designer, because I will say, like, even though I don't know what this is, it's gorgeous. I just like the guards on the cover better. Now you might be like, why didn't you just get, because you already own. Listen, if you're new here, I did a book haul about 2 months ago where I ordered a whole bunch of books on Waterstone, and I'm in the US, by the way, so that means it took me 10 times longer to get the books because they had to be from the UK. They had to go through multiple types of transits to get to my location, right? So imagine my shock when it comes and I'm like, I'm so excited to read the series. It was the last book in this series. And I really want to read this series this summer. So I was like, I don't want to wait. So I'm going to get the US version and order the UK version sometime later on when I actually have patience to wait. And I'm just going to get like the US and the UK versions. And you can be like, it's a waste of money. So they're $7 in the US and they're like $6 in the UK. And I just have to pay for shipping. So please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, I can do what I want. It's my money. It's my money. It's my money, guys. It's my money. So, Once Upon a Broken Heart, Stephanie Garber. It's Jax in this book, and it's Evangeline Fox. I have no clue who Evangeline is. I just want to know, like, after we found out the connection that Tella has with Jack, whatever his name is, I want to see how this plays out. Like, does that stuff change now that, like, after how finale ended? Does that stuff change? We'll see. Everybody's like, I read Caraval and it was horrible. I liked Caraval. It was good. But people say this is better. But I will say, if you're going to go into this, please read Caraval first, because I haven't even read this and I already know there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that references Caraval, and it's like, I already can tell. Is this dual PAV? Dual V? What? Hello? Ooh la la, guys, there's an entire map. Part 1, The Tale of Evangeline Fox. That doesn't whatever. If Jack says something, it might have a correlation to what happens in Caraval, so, I don't know. I just recommend reading Caraval before reading this. And I know a lot of people say Caraval is trash, stuff like that. I liked Caraval. Once again, I liked Caraval. But they say this book is like 10 times better. I know you have to read Caraval. Oh my goodness, such a shame. Such a shame. This, trust me, you want to read Caraval first, because it might make things make sense. Now, if you've already read Once Upon a Broken Heart and you read Caraval and it wasn't confusing, just word of advice. The last book I want to read is... Ooh, this book is heavy and it's big. It's big. It's big. I'm scared. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I read 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙖𝙡 last month. This month. I keep saying last month because I'm doing the TBR for next month, and who cares, okay? Who cares what I say, okay? So we're just gonna say next month, but it's actually this month because I read 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙡 in the month of May. Please, please cooperate with me, brain. So, I could have missing. I'm sorry, I just keep getting shocked because every time I pick up this freaking book, it's like a weight. It's like I'm breaking my hand. It's breaking my hand. But A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I'm just like staring at this side. Like, it looks small in the camera. My arm's gonna break if I keep holding this book up. Court of Mist and Fury. I'm just like looking. I have the entire series on my shelf. Here, I'm gonna show you guys my shelf real quick. I have the entire series on my shelf. Why is that orange book? I don't even know the title of it. Why is that orange book humongous? Okay. This book. Apparently we find out why people hate Tamlin so much. I already know why people hate Tamlin, and I've only read 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙡 because one of my friends, I can't tell who because she said it's a crime to tell. One of my friends, I asked her, I said, you read 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝙖𝙡, right? She's like, yeah, it's one of my favorites. I said, tell me why people hate Tamlin, because I don't understand. I like Tamlin. He's nice. If anything, we should be hating... I know what that man's name is. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. We should be hating Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and not Tame the Dragon, okay? Because he set her up. I'm gonna stop talking before I get canceled on this app. I feel like I just committed a felony. I feel like I'm gonna get canceled off this app. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I don't know. Find out why people don't like him, I guess. But yeah. that is my TBR, guys, and I'm excited because how many anticipated? This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, baby. 4 books that I've been wanting to read for a minute. And listen. Hold up. This book right here. She didn't announce this until like early May, I feel like, or like late. What was last month? Now I know good and well I did not just ask what month last month was. It was April. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just like, after I film this, I'm going to bed. I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm going to sleep. It's like 3 o'clock in the day. But April, sorry. I feel like she announced this like late April or early May. But I already knew this was coming after she announced Deep End. Because I was like, if you guys pay attention to authors' Instagram bios, she had 2 hearts. It was a pink and it was a green heart. And it said coming soon, or like TBD, or like TBR, like to be revealed, right? And I was like, guys, because this was like after Mate got announced, or whatever that book is called, the second one to Bride. And I was like, guys, and they were like, yeah. I was like, Ella Hazel's coming out with another book. And they were like, yeah, Mate. And I was like, no, it's pink and green. That's the theme of the book. Pink and that's the emoji she used in her mailing list today. Pay attention to authors' bios, y'all. They say a lot. Y'all just don't realize it, but who cares? Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, because I'm like so happy, because how many of these books just came in this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 6 of these books on this TBR came in the mail today. I'm proud of myself, actually. Yeah. Thanks for asking if I was proud of myself. I am proud of myself for like blowing my money on books. But in my defense, it's not blowing it. It's putting it to educational use. I mean, you have to know how to read, right? To get a good job, you have to know how to read. So I can most definitely read. But that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Made out kisses. I just like made out kisses. Made out, and goodbye, loves.